What's up, Ravens fans? It's time to hear from you guys in our Ravens Mailbag segment, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into the questions this week. And our first question comes to us from Twitter, and it's from Supa8, and the question is, can we please use Jaylen Hill as a slot corner?
Well, Jalen's already played in a couple games in the slot, and I think he's done pretty well. But I don't know that the Ravens are going to hand the reins over to the undrafted rookie free agent totally.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's going to be the only guy playing in the slot. But Darius Webb, the veteran, I think he's played well this year. He'll continue to get snaps in there. I also think the interesting wrinkle here is that Maurice Canady is probably going to come off of injured reserve and be inserted into this secondary. And I really like Canady a lot. I think he's a guy that showed himself over the summer at the very start of training camp to be a very strong replacement for Tavon Young, who was supposed to be the starter in the slot. Canady has playmaking skills. I mean, the guy's really, really good.
We were talking about him in the summer saying, is he somebody that could win a starting job, which is crazy, but that's the kind of performance he was having at that time.
So it's kind of crazy right now because you look at it and the Ravens have always had too few corners. Now they almost have too many corners, specifically in that slot position with Ladarius, Maurice Canady, and Jaylen Hill. So I think they'll probably roll the three of them in there and mix and match a little bit. And Candy's going to need a little time to get his feet wet. So it should be an interesting combination there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. All right, let's go to the next question. This one comes to us from Nick G. The question is, how much better would the running game be if Marshal Yanda didn't get hurt this season? Well, look, Marshal Yanda is the best right guard in the game, and if he's on the field, that's better for the offense. That being said, the running game can't get much better than it already is. It's ranked 5th in the NFL right now. They've made a huge jump from where they were last season. I think it's a combination of scheme. I think it's a combination of they found a dynamic running back in Alex Collins, who's somebody who I think is going to get more and more carries as the season progresses. I think that Marshal Yanda sure would have made a difference in that area, but I think he would have been even more valuable in pass protection. He just does everything well. He's not just a run game blocker. He does everything well. And I've said this before, I really believe the offensive line has come under a lot of criticism this year, but I think that this offensive line, if it weren't for the injuries, would be really good. You have Alex Lewis at left guard. You have Marshal Yanda at right guard. You know, Stanley's been good. Jensen's been good. Austin Howard's been good. You know, if you have those guys that don't get hurt, I love this offensive line.
Whoa, but here's the thing. Even with them hurt, I think the offensive line has been pretty darn solid. I mean, you look at Matt Skura, he just came back from injury, and I thought he played pretty well against the Dolphins. And let's give James Hurst a little bit of credit. I mean, he's kicked inside the guard, playing a position he's never played before, and he's been solid. Not great, not amazing, but he's been solid. I think it's pretty impressive when you look at James Hurst and Matt Skura as your starting guards to see what this offensive line has done.
Definitely been much better than anyone expected.
Yeah. The last question comes from Mike As Jr., and the question is, how can the Ravens get Rashad Perriman involved more? Well, I assume that when Mike Wallace comes back, he and Jeremy Maclin are going to get a lot of the targets as receivers. But I think you do still need to give Rashad Perriman some shots. You know, I know people are frustrated with Rashad in the drops. He's frustrated with the drops too. But I, for one, think that you have to continue to give this guy a chance. Now, it's probably not going to be 20 passes his way in a game, but give him what he does best. Go deep. Once, maybe twice a game, you still got to give him those shots. You got to give him some of those slants. Let him get into open space. I still think Rashad Perriman can contribute to this offense. Now, because of the struggles, I think it's probably fewer opportunities than what we anticipated in week 1. But you have to find ways to do it, to still get the ball in his hands, get his confidence going, because I think if the Ravens can get the ball in his hands, particularly early in games, this is a guy who has the talent to take off. He just needs that first little kickstart.
Yeah.
It's kind of that kick in the pants to get him going.
You know, I think, though, what you said there to me is the key is early in games. I don't necessarily think it's the deep stuff. Obviously, that's what he does well. He's fast. He's fast. Everyone knows that.
You got to give him a shot with that stuff.
But I think what it is maybe getting in on some of these crossing routes early in games. Just an easy catch. Go ahead and get an easy one. Right. Build that confidence, and you see what happens from there. So, as always, we love to hear from you guys every single week. Send in your questions using the hashtag RavensMailbag. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.